You're looking at a Warm Car Now plug-and-play solution for late model Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. This version has a parking light plug integrated in so that you can plug into the parking lights and you don't have to cut any wires doing the installation. Most vehicles, the parking lights will illuminate without this connection, but on the 2017 and 2018 heavy F-Series trucks, the parking lights will not come on unless you make this connection. So we're offering this connection. I'm going to show you the installation. It's a silent activating system, so it activates from pressing lock, unlock, lock, and this will trigger remote starting. We're going to show you the installation. Before we begin the installation, we're going to make sure that the vehicle has an operating hood pin switch installed from the factory. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to place the key in the ignition, turn the ignition to the run position, then we're going to pop the hood, and we're going to look for a light indicating that the hood has been opened. Okay, so we have a hood ajar light, so we know this vehicle is equipped with a hood pin switch. If your vehicle does not have a hood pin switch, you are still going to have the wires present at the hood latch. I'm going to show you where they're located. Okay, this vehicle has the pin switch. That harness down there, right down there, is the hood pin switch harness for the vehicle. So the Fortin guide shows jumping the two wires together at this pin switch if you don't have the actual pin switch installed. We're underneath the dash of our Ford F-150. We're going to go ahead and we're going to install our device. We're going to look for the diagnostic plug of the vehicle. On the back of the diagnostic plug, there is a gateway plug. We're going to press the clip and remove the plug. We're going to plug our T-harness into the back of the diagnostic plug. Going to make sure it locks in firmly. And then we're going to plug the vehicle plug that we removed from the back of the diagnostic plug into our T-harness. The device is installed and ready for programming. We're going to go ahead and we're going to program our device. We're going to begin the pairing or programming procedure. We're going to remove the 4-pin data plug from our device. We're then going to hold the program button down on our device while we plug the 4-pin data plug back into the device. When we do this, the LED lights on the front of our device are going to cycle. The first color to come on is blue. When we see the blue light, we want to release the button. If we release on any other color than blue, we'll remove the 4-pin plug and repeat the procedure. We're holding our program button down. We're plugging in our 4-pin data plug. The blue light comes on, we release the button. If any other color comes on, if we hold the button too long, it'll go through 3 different colors and start the sequence over from the beginning. So we want to release on solid blue. We're going to take the key to the vehicle, we're going to insert it in the ignition and turn the ignition to the run position. If it's a push to start vehicle, we're going to have one key fob in the vehicle and we're going to push the push to start button to turn on the ignition. So we're going to go ahead, I'm going to place the key in the ignition and then we're going to turn the ignition to the run position. The blue light will go out. It will come back on and flash rapidly when the device programming is complete. We're now going to shut the key off and remove it from the ignition. If we have a push to start vehicle or a push button vehicle, we're now going to shut the ignition off by pushing the push to start button. From this point forward, we can start the vehicle. Outside of our vehicle, we're going to activate remote start by pressing lock, unlock, lock. This will silently trigger the vehicle to remote start. With this model, the parking lights illuminate without making a connection. Okay, we've completed the installation. Now we're going to talk about the parking light T-harness. This is mainly used on the heavier F-Series trucks, the 250, the 350. If you don't have the parking lights connected, the lights will not illuminate upon remote start. So if you don't have this plug, you would have to cut a wire on your parking light harness or your headlight harness on the back of the switch in order to complete the parking light installation. So most of you do not want to cut that wire. If you're okay with cutting the wire, then you can do it with the harness that comes with a unit and 2 wire nuts and some kind of tap. If you want the plug or you have this heavy F-Series vehicle, I'm going to show you how to install the plug. This is on a 150. The installation is the same. Disassembly is a little different on the heavier F-Series trucks. To install the parking light harness that we have set up for the Fortin system, we would drop the dash down, we would unplug the plug from the back of the headlight switch. When we do this, the chime of the vehicle will start chiming. If the vehicle, well, there we go. Now we're going to plug our plug into the parking light switch. We're going to make sure it locks in. Now this plug uses the same plug that you have on your headlight switch. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to plug it into our harness on the other end. When we do this, the chime will stop chiming and we'll have a complete circuit with our parking lights connected. Parking light T-harness is installed. It's plugged into our Evo and the chime has stopped. I'm going to show you one last thing to finish up this video. Okay, we've also included a remote starter disable or remote starter override switch in this kit. And the way this is wired in is very simple. If you choose to use this switch, you're going to have an end with a ground ring and a posi-tap butt style compression connector. We're going to go ahead and we're going to loosen the collar on our posi-tap. We're now going to take our blue wire from the device, the dark blue wire on our 20-pin plug. We're going to strip about 1/4 to 1/8 of an inch or 1/8 to 1/4 off of the wire. We're going to insert it in the collar and we're going to push it down until it bottoms out. And we're going to tighten up our collar. This is going to make our connection to our blue wire on our device. We're now going to take the ground ring and we're going to find a bare metal ground point under the dash and we're going to attach this to that ground point. When we turn the switch on, it will put a ground on the dark blue wire, disabling remote start. It's a handy feature if you're having your oil change or you're parking it inside, and just for times you do not want to use a remote starter, it'll give you a way to shut the remote starter down.